Hello guys, today I'm in my kitchen. You may be thinking, what is that gonna be doing or showing you MEP wise? And believe me, it's not a grease trap. It's not a hood. I don't even have a hood in my kitchen. It's nothing related with engineering. This is something that actually I have been talking to some of colleagues and people that I know on how to do a flan, or how they call it also a custard. I already have two of them done here. So I'm going to show you how I do mine. This is a recipe that I have. A friend of mine gave it to me many years ago, and I can tell you that when I do it, it's very consistent. Every time I get the same taste, flavor, and I mean, the things that I like to see when or feel when I eating a flan. I like to cook, so today is not going to be anything about engineering. It's going to be about how to cook a very good flan. So if you're expecting this is going to be one of those videos that lasts a minute and you can see everything in less than a minute, this is not a video. Go and look for something else. I'm going to show you step by step on how to do it, and I will show you towards the end the process already complete when I take it out of the oven. It's kind of simple. Everything that you need to do is put a lot of ingredients into a blender. By the way, anything that I show you, they have different brands, but I'm not promoting any of these brands. You can pick whatever you want. But a blender like this size, compare the size to my hand so you can see more or less what you're looking at. This one says 1.5 liters right here, so it's going to be a little bit more, 1.5 in liters. So you're going to need this. Now you're going to need eggs. I'll show you what you're going to do with the eggs. It's a total of 6 eggs. 4 of them are going to be entire eggs. The other 2 eggs is going to be just the yellow part. You're going to need condensed milk, 1.5 cans. You're gonna need a half of evaporated milk, and you're gonna need regular milk. I take full milk, and then you can put any flavor you want. These two that I did here, I did it with vanilla extract, and the next one, the one that I'm gonna be doing with you guys, is gonna be with rum. You can put whatever you want. Sometimes I have put a chocolate powder. Maybe you can put some other fruits like mamey, or whatever you put in the flan is going to be okay. So it's up to you. The other day, by the way, I put by mistake, instead of vanilla, I put something that looks very similar, but it was almond extract. Me personally, I didn't like it, and almost nobody liked it. That was on Thanksgiving, and today is December 23rd, 2023. So I'm doing this the day before dinner. So usually this is what I do, because I cook it, I put it into the oven. After I cook it, I take it out of the oven, I put it into the fridge, and I leave it in the fridge, knowing not to freeze it, just in the regular portion of the fridge. The fridge, I put it there for like maybe, I don't know, 24 hours or a little bit less, but I recommend it that it's gonna be eaten almost like 24 hours after. Last thing that I didn't mention, you're gonna need some cream cheese. I usually only do it with half of the cream cheese. It's just the regular Philadelphia one. You can pick any brand. If you do it with the entire package, this one, how many ounces it has? This one has 8 ounces. If you do it with the entire package, the only problem is that it's gonna, instead of a flan, it's gonna be more like a cheesecake flavor. So it's up to you. At the beginning, I was doing with the full package, but then later I noticed that doing it only with half of it was better. That's for me. Oh, and I forgot a little bit of a pinch of salt, and then at the bottom of the container that you're going to be using to, when you put all the mix, you need to put caramel syrup. This is actually the only brand that I have found at the local supermarket, Pinzon caramel syrup. You can pick anything you want, or you can even do it on your own. I remember my mom in Cuba, back in the days, when she was doing this caramel, you have to put sugar in a pan, cook it to the point that it melted, and then you put it inside the pan. So let me show you what I do. First thing is to put this caramel syrup here at the bottom. So I'm going to start putting this. It's very heavy. I don't know if you can see there. How much you have to put, it's up to you. It's completely up to you. I always put it enough that it covers the bottom part of whatever side container you have. Because when you are cooking, all this syrup stays at the bottom. So don't worry even if you put a little bit too much on one side or to the left or to the right. It levels out, and you will see later when I put the all the mix, the the syrup try to like go up, but don't worry about it. It's not. It seems like, oh, I messed it up. You didn't. When you put it into the oven, this syrup is heavier than the rest of the products, so it always sit at the bottom. So now I have, you see, all this already done, and I put it to the side. So I take the blender, and first thing that I like to do is to start putting the eggs. Why do I do that at the beginning? Because sometimes, I mean, most of the times, I would say 90% of the time the eggs are okay, but you know that sometimes maybe there is one egg that could have blood in it. Imagine that you have all the mix and you're putting the last egg with blood. I don't want to eat that. So you're going to throw everything out? No. So for that, I get a small piece of whatever container you have. I'm going to start putting the eggs here first. So let me do 2 at the same time. This one. Two. 3 and 4. By the way, when I will edit this video later, I will put the recipe at the very beginning. You probably already saw it by the time you're watching this, so you can write this down and it will be easier for you to follow. So these 4 eggs are already here. Put it into the container, I mean the blender. And now I have to put 2 more eggs, but this is only this is a trick that I do. I cut it, you see, it fell, and I keep only the yellow part here. I kind of like open the egg in the middle. I try to stay with the bigger cut. If you don't know how to do it like that, just put it in your hand and you pass it from one hand to the next until you feel that this is the only thing you have, and you put it inside. So now I have my 4 eggs, entire eggs, only the yellow part on 2 of them. So a total of 6 eggs. Let me wash my hands. So now let's go into the milk portion of it. For the milk, as I said, you take 1.5 cans of condensed milk. Oops. me a spoon. I don't know why it always happens to me that I do this at the end of the day. My cameraman today is not actually a cameraman, it's a camera woman, my wife. Thank you, Michelle, for doing this. Okay, so I have one done. Let me go to now half of another one. What happens if you don't make it exactly half? Please don't worry about it. More or less, try to make it so you see that it's half. I think it's half. Okay, so now I have the eggs and the condensed milk. Let's go with the evaporated milk. So it's good to clean a little bit the lid with water. You have no idea where those cans had been sitting and for how long. This is only half of it. So okay, half of it, just start putting and then see little by little if you get half or not. I think this is half. I'm done. If you have another can like I used to have before when I was doing those two that I had it empty, now you pour an entire can of evaporated milk. I mean the size of an evaporated milk, but with full milk. So now I know more or less, because I've done this so many times, more or less how much is going to be a full can of evaporated milk. It's more or less the size. So okay, we are done with the milk. We are done with the. I put three different milks: the condensed milk, evaporated, and full milk, whole milk. Sorry. What can we do now? Let's go with the salt. The salt, as I said, is just a pinch. I don't know if you can see how much I'm putting there, or whatever you can pick with two of your fingers. That's it. My dad always used to tell me that it creates a reaction when you do that the sugar actually gets stronger. What else are we going to use? Well, in this case, I do just vanilla. In this case, I already had two flans with vanilla, so this one's going to be a little bit different. And this is actually the first time that I'm going to do this. I'm going to put rum. It's a rum extract. How much do you put? Please put as much as you feel you will be okay with it. For the vanilla, I like to put a lot of vanilla. For the rum, I don't want to put maybe too much, but you'll see. This is actually first time that I opened this package, and I'm gonna pour a little bit. That's it. I like to cook, not taking into account so many measurements. I like to cook based on what I feel that I like it, and I like to try it. If the first time didn't work so well, then you try it again, and then you put more or less of one product or the other. And I'm doing this video because this is a flan that I have been able to get consistently right. That's why I'm recommending it to many of my friends, and I told them, hey, I'm gonna do this video tonight. I'm gonna show it to you, and I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you can try it. And if you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and write them down, and I promise you that I will read it and answer if you have any questions. What else? I think I didn't miss anything. Oh yes, of course. Now the cream cheese. I'm done with the milk. I'm trying to see everything that I have here. I'm done with the eggs, the salt, the caramel, the extract. So now this is the moment of opening this. Actually, I have ingredients right now to make even another flan. I may do another flan later tonight. So it's almost the same to do 2, 3, or 4. So let me open this one. I'm gonna use only half of it. I do recommend not to just cut half of it and then throw it in the blender. It doesn't blend that well. You just feel how much is half of the cream cheese, and then you start cutting it in different pieces. And placing those pieces inside the blender. In a few seconds, I'm gonna start using the blender. I may probably remove the sound from the video so it doesn't bother you. That's it. There's a little bit of, yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, so this is the moment to blend it and then to pour the mix into the container. I put it the blender for like, I don't know, close to a minute, a little bit less than a minute. It's very liquid. So when I pour this liquid now, you will see that the caramel try to go up. Don't worry, it will sit down and will stay down all the way. Remember that when we finish this and we have the final product already cooked, you're gonna put some like plate on top of it, and then you are gonna twist it 180 degrees. So the caramel that sits at the bottom is gonna be actually on the top when you show it to your guests. So now let's pour this. As you can see, I didn't even measure the whole milk, but I know already that I'm gonna get that that amount. So what do we do with those 3 flans? This is the thing that they told me. In Spanish, we have something that's called baño Maria. Michelle, does it have a name in English? I don't know. Well, okay. So what do I do with this? What do I have the container, the big container? Oh, it's here. Now I'm gonna put this into a container surrounded by water. So it means like, okay, let me get an empty one. This is just an empty one to show you what it's gonna look like. When you put this inside here, and you put water all around, the water obviously is gonna get hot. But what I noticed that if you just put this on top of this one, the 2 surfaces are going to be touching each other. So the water maybe will be able to go a little bit underneath the container, but not enough unless you put something to hold it, to separate this big container that is having the water to this. So hey, pick whatever you want. Take this out. this is what I use. This is something custom made, a solution that I found myself. I put some kind of like iron at the bottom, you see, and then I put my container on top. So the container is gonna be separated from the big pan by these two rods, but everything in between is gonna be water. So I'm gonna have hot water on the sides and at the bottom. I think this is important because it's gonna be fully cooked, or I mean, it's not gonna be just temperature, high temperature here at the bottom of this container, but it's gonna be water, and the hot water is gonna be the one that's gonna cook the whole mix. So in this case, I have just one. You can put, I will put 3 of them, and then I will put it in the oven. How long in the oven? The oven is gonna be set at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Remember, if you have a conventional oven, you have to put like 25 degrees more. So instead of 350, you use, make sure that you put it at 375 to get the 350 that you need. And you are gonna leave it for 2 hours. After 2 hours, well, at the time, I'm gonna show you in the video what is that I do. But usually what I always put is a knife inside and make sure that the knife comes out clean. That means that the mix is already fully cooked on the inside. And that's it. So let's fast forward and you will see what's gonna happen. Now let me tell you, how do you fill this with water? Different tricks. What I usually do, I fill this blender with water and I pour the water little by little on the inside until I see that it gets to about half high of the container. If you're saying or asking yourself, hey, do I need to preheat the oven? You don't have to preheat the oven. I just put it on the inside right now. I start putting the oven at 375. Remember, what I need is 350, but this oven, at least this one, this brand, requires me to put 375 to get 350. think that's enough. Be very careful on this part so the water doesn't spill out. That's it. So again, now everything is in the oven and we have to wait 2 hours. 2 hours from the moment that we get 350. This oven I know is going to be at 350 in a matter of maybe 7 to 10 minutes. After that, I will set the timer and I will put 2 hours. So in a few minutes, since I'm going to fast forward all this, you're going to see how the flan comes out. Thank you. I completely forgot one final thing that I have to tell you. Before you put it in the oven, you need to put and wrap it on the top with aluminum foil. And actually, thank God, there was a mistake. That this pan, this is the one that you saw a few minutes ago that I put in the oven, it has a leak. So when I had it in the oven, I saw the water dripping inside the oven. I said, oh, what's going on? I had to take it out, and because of that, that's why I say, thank God, mistakes, sometimes they happen and you don't even know why, but as a Christian person, I can tell you that, hey, it happened for a reason. And I realize the reason now why is that I shouldn't have put it in the oven like that. I should have covered every single one of them with aluminum foil. So this is what I'm gonna do. Take a piece of it and put it on top. That's it. So since it's almost, actually it's midnight right now, I cannot put the 3 of them in that big aluminum pan. I will have to use a smaller one which only fits 2 of them. It's 2 hours. So I'm gonna put 2 of these for 2 hours. And guess what? If you know me at a personal level, some of you know me, I don't wanna let these until the next day. No, I'm gonna put 2 hours here. And then in 2 hours, I'm gonna put the second batch for 2 more hours. Let me tell you a story, quick story. When I came to the United States in 1995, there were a lot of people taking the driver license test. I went and I wanted to take my license and pass the exam the first time, and I did it. Then I asked the lady, okay, when can I take the practice test? She said, well, good luck with that. The appointments are for 6 months. I said, I can wait 6 months. I want to take it like right now. I said, the sooner that you can take it is if you make the line outside and you are one of the first 5 people. Tomorrow. I said, tomorrow, okay. At what time do you open? He said, we open at 7 a.m. I said, okay. That same day, at 5 p.m., again, 5 p.m., I was there. I was number 1 at 7 a.m. the next day. And if you think that I'm crazy, guess at what time the person that became number 2 arrived. Again, I arrived at 5. That person arrived maybe 30 minutes after me. So within an hour, the first 5 seats were already taken. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna put this in. Fast forward, 4 hours from now, you're gonna see the product. Bye-bye.